Hey there, Joy of the World friends and family. I am Joy, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. And also today, I think I might share a little bit. Who cares if anyone thinks I'm crazy or not? I know what these two eyes see, and I've been seeing for a long time and knowing in my heart. So we're just going to speak about a few things. I get up early and I watch the stars set, should we say, and the sun come up. Yesterday on September 29th, I could hear my soul talking to me saying that it's in the time of transition that everything comes out. Now, mind you, I live in an area where some of the greatest sightings occur, or the most frequent sightings occur in the United States. And I've seen things before and I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, this one was so long and drawn out, it occurred over a half-an-hour period. And it was at that time when it was really interesting. It was like the stars were gathering up their skirt. The whole outer rims of the sky I've begun to notice began to turn the light blue, while the center looks like a kind of like a smog or a fog, or like what's going on around Wild Woman here. It's a bit of that cloaking over the blue. It's the last breath of night. And I was watching one of the stars, or so I thought, and then right beside it, I saw something begin to move. And move and move and move and move. And it looks just like a point, like a star, but then it began to look like it was riding, and then it would go up, and then it would curl, and then it would spiral, and then it would move around, and it went sideways and frontways and upways and all around. So if you're excited about things like that, you can leave some of your stories down in the comments down below. This is a place where we can share. We celebrate everyone here as long as you're kind. Remember, you can be kind and still express yourself. But so some of that's going on, and they're saying you have lots of help on the way. This is an old drawing of mine. This is kind of like Lakshmi, provisional energy coming on in here. Also, even though that's the hand of Fatima upside down, it is also Lakshmi's hand, the prosperity coming on in. And they're saying we've got an eye on you, and we're coming in to help. This isn't just for me, it is for you guys. And I love that I've already set the intention card for this reading. And it says the universe is filled with endless opportunities for me. And it's also opportunities of growth, development, assistance. We have this one card coming out, which let me know, hey, it's time to start a new reading. Because it's obvious they're letting me know that you're letting them know that you're ready to grow, to develop, to move beyond where you've been. Maybe there has been a dust storm, kind of like Pigpen, if you've ever watched the Charlie Brown, like, holiday cartoons or whatever they are, and when he walks and drags his blanket, the dust stirs up all around him. And they're saying it's time to move on from that. It's time to move on from the childish ways, from living in the debris, living attached to something or something attached to you. They're looking for your liberation, which I myself did experience the other day. It was on the 27th. It was the things that had held me so captivated, and not in a good way, guiding and directing my mindset, even through prayers and meditation and whatever else, fervency, that were just frazzling me and working me into a fervor and wearing me thin. They were ready for that new energy to come on in. So I listened to these readings as well, and they were talking about we need permission to bless you. We need permission to brighten the space. We need permission to remove those things that no longer serve you, that have been holding you back for quite some time, that stir up and kick up the dust, the old debris, the old ways, the old things that have been harboring your energy for so long. I love it. Bringing your energy into the center of you, into the wholeness and the fullness of you, because that's the reiteration of the lotus showing up here. It has been arising for some time. Now, in my meditation drawing, forward came happiness. It is obvious that you have sounded the trumpet, that you're trying to make it known, that you're making the announcement, the pronouncement, the outward expression. So I would say with that, if you see me look over here, it's because I've moved my camera to here. So be patient and pray for me. But now we're working on the inward expression, the development therein. And from the reading the other day, it was letting us know that time isn't of the issue or the essence. You're going to catch right up. It's going to go and move from what I saw coming in. Help is on the way to bring in the springtime. And of course, I've watched the constellation Ursa Major, the Big Bear. It is turning up now. So ready to pour forth all that you've been putting into it. It is the dipper effect, 6 months filling up and investing and 6 months of receiving those blessings. And that's why when you first start to make a turn, things can be hard, but also the fact the exuberance and the excitement is carrying you is what is beneficial there, because we begin to start the process of filling up. So even though now we're getting ready to begin to receive all the investments that we've been putting in, we still continue to invest because we have a new cycle coming as well. And that's how the waves and the flow and the influx begin to meet and greet us. And it's obvious that your happiness is here, that you're wanting to come down from that big old cold barren mountain, the place where you've been in isolation. So with that, I see this amethyst cluster speaking here. Let's go ahead and get into a crystal support for helping our friends and family here at Joy of the World to come into unison with yourself first, because that isolation is even like abject poverty, where you feel separate from yourself, that no matter the effort that you put in, all you endure were trials and tribulations and very little reward. They were talking about that rewarding energy, and they're saying that first we need to complete the circuit. So we're going to travel through the inner belly, the underbelly, right? That it was talking about the underbelly of wisdom coming through. Okay, so if you didn't listen back to yesterday's reading, if you're coming in here outside the date and time, you can go find it and drop down one day beneath it. So we have citrine coming on in here, the golden self, that wherever you go, there you are. It's not a matter of removing yourself and transferring yourself and doing all these demonstrative outward things to prove your commitment to this. It's saying actually go within and allow the movement to be within you. Allow the movement to communicate outward and continue to broadcast this announcement going on here, because as it does, it begins to transform the particles of the world around you. Speak and the earth vibrates. These can sound like woo-woo things, y'all, but you can look it up in like quantum physics, not just metaphysics, and in actual applied science where it has been measured, okay? It has been witnessed by things set out to prove or disprove. And so we have nothing to prove or disprove here. We have to get into the connection and communication with ourselves. So let's do that. First here, we're going to take a look at the card that triggered this reading. And it says toadstools, growth. So mushrooms, the growth becomes deep within. Okay, so this is penetration, has to do with innovation. Okay, which would make sense why, pardon me, y'all, this desk and contraction, the lightning, the incoming energy. Whatever it is that you do to receive your bounty and your bliss, for me, it can be walking, it's exposure to the outdoors, it's fresh air. That's why they have the window open in case there's any noise. Now you know why. It's connection with nature, artistry, those type of things. It's stuff that really helps the energy begin to move into me. And they're talking about that golden light, that golden energy. And for many of you, it's as easy as laying your eyes on the outdoors and seeing the sun and letting the sun see you. That's pivotal. So I have one card sitting here alongside it, and then we're going to move in the rest of the reading. So, okay, we have death. But I see that glow back behind it. What may seem like your end isn't. What may seem like it has power over you and skills and abilities and tools that you don't, that's of no avail here. That is of no event. There is something greater working for you. And in this case, it is the power of the darkness. It is the power of rest. It is the power of trust. It is the power of your inner knowing and the belief that what is beyond is greater for you and is worth the investment. You're not going to get trapped and dropped into these briars and these thistles and getting stuck in the promise of the bounty and the blessings, but then having to devour the seed out of hunger and that abject poverty. So they're wanting to explore the seeds, this warmth, your power and strength. And with that, I love it because I put Mary L up here. Mary L and I have not run round the mountain in a minute. I love this. Look, that once bitten, twice shy, no more, no more. We're moving on from that. We're no longer the milk or the cream, okay? We are the hand that skims the cream. We are divine, y'all. We are bigger than anything that comes at us. And now if you're for owls or whatever, that's not the issue here, y'all. We're looking at the imagery of what is occurring in the card. You are the energy behind it, the dark, the plasma, the unknown, but the knowable, okay? It means what has happened and what has gone on in your life. There is so much more for you than just what meets the eye. Continue to give us a little bit more revelation here on this. Impossible becoming possible. I love it because what I'm holding in my right hand, the hand of confirmation, the hand of promise, and the hand of action is love. Where you might hold one and seem that you're the one carrying the full ship, okay? The full running the house. Maybe you're a single parent. Maybe you're in a loveless marriage. Maybe you're the person who had to raise your parents. Maybe you're the only one helping deal with a difficult situation in work. But let me tell you, look at this going on behind there. This is the heartbeat of the world, the heartbeat of the earth coming forward and supporting you and holding you. And it's the reiteration of that red, okay? So apparently what they're wanting to do is to infiltrate you with a new power, a new spirit, the one that is limitless and beyond anything that could come into your face and into your scope. What you do is you just look through it right past it. Look through it right past it. Look through it right past it. They're talking about know your mark, but look through it and look past it. This thing may be coming at you. And if you're someone who likes football, you'll understand if the running back is looking for the down, and that's all they're going to do, we often can fall short. We need to look beyond, in the territory beyond, which would tie back to yesterday's message about the land. It is about the land. And in the in-between, in the pre-shuffle, the star card came in, and in that one, it is a stag, and it reiterated the one that was off in the shadows. The guardian is also the guide. They're here watching out for you. Nothing and no one can separate you from yourself. You need to know that. You need to know that, and that is the gem. That is this revelation coming in that helps you overcome the very thing, the very fear, the very terror, the very thing that has had you captivated and bound is now losing its power. As you hear these words and recognize, yes, there is another human on the planet who could understand. And the thing is we need to move past our understanding, because our understanding is limited to what we have experienced. And when they're wanting to take us into endless opportunities and into the message that we had yesterday, which was about the miracles beyond anything we've ever experienced, then we're moving into a whole new world, a whole new realm. I want to find out a little bit about the Lovers and the Seven of Swords here. The thing that has held us captivated, our fear, the thing that has been our defeat over and over again. This was self-sabotage, was the unknowing, the ignorance, or the innocence, all right? Ignorance means we didn't know to pay attention to it. We didn't know it was of a realm of importance. Innocence is we simply just did not know. And they're coming, bringing in this wisdom, in this support, in this divine love. So here we have signals, we have cooperation is essential for life, and we have joy, okay? So they're coming in, they're wanting to go in the middle. This is the hand that is holding you now. This is it. They're saying let go of the attachments, because with Pigpen, it was an earthly blanket. It was his source of comfort, even though it stirred up the dust and it kept things beneath you. It kept you limited. It kept you more than captive. It's captured, like bound to, well, bound to death. We're moving into life, friends. That's the energy that I work with here, is life itself. It is that innate force that animates everything, that procreates everything, that is behind all creation, is the driving force. And with that, I see Odin lighting up over there, giving honor and reverence, going, yeah. It's the one that even the highest bow to, okay? And not bow like, oh, I'm not worthy, but bow is like, thank you. Thank you for including me, for offering yourself to me, to avail yourself to me, for the knowing. Odin hung himself on a tree to know. And those days are over. We don't have to be bound anymore in order to know. And I like to know I am abound. But it says cooperation is essential for life. And remember that cooperation is simply your permission. Life has the key to your door. Matter of fact, life is everything that animates you. But life will not move without your permission. It has all power, but it does not use its power over you. It invites you and ask you into this divine union. If you have seen the never-ending story, it's kind of like that. The young boy got invited into the story to have his own experience of it, to contribute himself to it, and to begin to be able to turn the tide in it. So here we have signals and joy. And I'll tell you something that's a trip about this. This showed up in one of the readings about a week ago. And then I went for my walk in the neighborhood where I've been 100 times at least, hundreds if not. And I look down and I'm waiting as the dog's going to the bathroom. And I look down and this signal is engraved into the ground. And I'm like, okay, reiteration, confirmation. Yeah, I hear the things twizzling on the wall behind me. Loki, gifts, divine answers, nourish wisdom, and strong connection. Now, it might seem like you're being played with, or like it's just coincidences or little synchronicities that aren't going to end up in anything. But if that's the case, go back and look at the one that talks about great wealth. The reading that Chiron brought in for us, the healing of the family, the healing of the connection, where we come from, that we have not been forsaken and that we are not left without. It may have seemed that way for a time, but now your mind can cognize, meaning from the dark into the light, and recognize these signals that are here, these gifts that are being given to you. Because remember before, some of these powers and these forces that were here, and we're not talking about the owl, we're talking about the owl in this image having a hold of you here and your divine light. Your prayers are being heard, that you're not ready for it to be over. You're ready to move on. You're ready to continue in what? Joy. Look at this. You're ready to close out that old way in that season, that being ignorant, the not knowing, and you're ready to take hold of this connection and grow in this knowledge, not just here at the channel, but personally. This channel is here to help support you and help provide the resonance and confirmation for you to boldly move forward into your big, bold, bright, beautiful world. Because if you're here, you are amazing and you're ready for this, okay? You are ready. So this says travail is ended. No more problems. Why? Because you're a solution. And when we live, it's about the experience. It's not about categorizing and building infrastructure of roads and things. They want us to be whole-brained, where we live with our whole body as an instrument of experience. And that experience is stored in wisdom. And wisdom is this big organic molecule of sorts. It is the divine one where all things come together, and the Akashic records. And we're not the one having to file and store it. We're the ones listening and living and experiencing with our heart, because each experience that we have transforms us. You can think like the caterpillar, pop, chrysalis, butterfly. All right. It's moving into a whole new world where those things that we learned in the previous realm are kind of irrelevant in the new one. Just the form that you take, that transformation of moving into the wisdom, or in this case, the goldenest self. This is the new mountain. It's the mountain of illumination, of knowing that you are loved and supported, that you are wholly and completely loved and supported for who you are, not what you do. What you do moves forth and comes forth from who you are. They're here to support you. And it says fruit bearing, new energy, clarity, and heaven on earth. That's a hoe we want. Heaven on earth. If you with me, go ho ho. Okay. And that could be why, y'all. I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna show you, but these are coming up for the we'll call it the collective October read. It's where I'm gonna go give a collective reading for all of October for everyone, of the basic Genesis for everybody, and break it down to the facets or little bites if that's the way you like to digest it through the zodiac. But oh my gosh, I didn't think I would be able to do it. I'm like, well, I'll be able to pull it open where he is. And there it is. That's the Emperor in this deck. Why? I love this. It's the nightmare before Christmas. You might think that you have missed the boat or that you've never arrived where everybody else is, but you are perfect and divine just the way you are. You were created and crafted to be who you are, so celebrate that. Like sometimes I look and I go, oh, I really ought to be able to do these short, quickie reads like everybody else, but we're bringing forth wisdom here, which takes a moment, it takes a bit of time. It's like whipping out a recipe as opposed to popping open a bag of chips, okay? Now, everybody else, who doesn't want a chip that dips? You know, all those snacks and the other things, but here there's a meal coming in for y'all, and I always try and do my best to bring in whatever is sincere and true. And that's no diminishing of anyone else who has those gifts. What we're talking about is just like the nightmare before Christmas. It's me going, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. And thinking there's something wrong with me, but there's not. And there's nothing wrong with them. And there's nothing wrong with you. There is no wrong. There is no problem. This is our experience, so embrace it. Embrace yourself. Maybe that's why they have me be so transparent here, so that you can witness the form that it comes through, okay? Oh, we got all stuff trying to split up in here. We got unicorn. We got purity, y'all. The unicorn constellation is beautiful. We got raven spirit with truth and dragonfly spirit change. I haven't shuffled, but these jumped when I pulled it. So we're going to stop there for a moment. Another disclosure. So the other night I was falling asleep, and I'm not much of a dreamer because when I go out, I am so tired. I just go on out. But I was noticing that quickly in those moments before I fall asleep, because remember, the mind moves so quickly. There was this gentleman of sorts, and he's otherworldly. He's like part goat, part centaur, part, he has this golden eye, this ring around the eye, like if an eclipse is occurring. So for some of you, this may be the eclipse energy going on. It's as if an eclipse is occurring over the sun, but a partial eclipse. So you have that darkness in the center, which you would think would be the pupil, but it's that glowing ring around it. It's a certain type of eclipse. Annular, I think, because it has the ring around it, and it's that glowing ring. And he came in, and I was like, whoa, right in front of my face. And I was even talking out loud. And he was telling me and showing me the ground beneath his feet and the realm around him. And it was take black and white checkerboard flooring, okay, and like a bit of the Hierophant card, the Emperor card, the Empress card, and like traditional ones, and the High Priestess, that type of energy going on. And I was looking at it, and he speaks without speaking, which means in the knowingness. And they, instead of being black and white checkerboard, it was sepia and ivory, okay? And it wasn't just the removal of color. I was sitting with it, and he just continued to speak forward and said his name was Truth. And I knew he could see the lie with the eye. He can see the lie that we all buy. And I was like, what is that lie? And so many exchanges went on, and I didn't get up to write it down because, again, they're telling me allow the organicness to occur. And at this channel, my goal is to practice what comes through. Otherwise, I am a lie. And then when my mouth moves, all that comes out is noise. And I truly seek to be one in this world with you guys, with all of us, that we have this world where we celebrate each other, and there's room for all of us in the crayon box, and life is beautiful and gorgeous and divine. So anyways, that's why I stopped here with Truth and change coming on in, because as he began to express it, I'm like, I do want the change. I want the change for our world. Whatever you require of me, whatever you need of me. And they just keep talking about your hands. We would like your hands. And I'm like, okay, so whether it's through drawing, you know, like this will end up getting colored. I'm working on several decks at once, or they're working on the decks through me, should we say. But back to Truth. I was held by this energy, and as he was speaking to me, it opened up the back of my mind, and finally I understood. I understood what the brown and the ivory was around him. And he said, okay, this isn't logic, this is reason. Reason is not the same as logic. But yet so many people do not walk in their truth because of that one little splinter, that one little speck, that one little thread. And think about like Pigpen's dust stirring up all the reasons of why we can't this or why we can't that. We may have adopted them. We may have inherited them. We may have just let them cling to us because we needed something to think about, because we didn't know where to set our minds, set our attention, set our focus. Like I said, through and beyond, beyond the down, whatever it takes to get to the next step. No, we're moving on to a whole new world. We're moving on into a place that goes beyond life university, beyond the test, beyond the game. And we get into the living, the thing that has inspired us all along, that has caused us to wake up day after day after day after day, and to rise when we fall, and to continue to move forward, not just in forgiveness, but in hope and faith and belief of a new life. He said these reasons, or even one reason, puts you out of the realm of your truth. And if you're out of the realm of your truth, he says, I have no help for you. I have no help for you. And I said, okay. And I was like, well, let's clear those away. Let's clear away those reasons why I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too old, I'm too ugly, I'm too ungifted, I'm too late. They're talking about the ability to prosper us and to move beyond space and time because they exist outside of it. That's how they move about freely. That's what the Wednesdays are about, like the Wonka Vader or the Wild Woman, is how do we move about in our organic, natural ways that seem imperceptible, but they're totally doable. They're totally doable. So let's take a moment. Let's get in with truth here. The Raven Spirit, the truth. Look at that again, y'all. It's this promise of the red, this new power, this new world, this new energy coming on in. They're talking about a new birth. A new birth. Not just a rebirth. We could think that, but yes, coming forward from the depths of the earth. Being raised into newness of life, something that hasn't even existed before. A whole new you. A whole new you. Okay, let's find out a little bit of the underbelly here. I've got the Black Tarot coming in. I love this deck. Its little whispers speak to me so profoundly and so deeply. Okay, I'm going to pretend I just shuffled that because I did. And down beneath, they came out as it mixed together. We have the Star and the Five of Wands. There is no one like you, therefore there is no competition. If there is no game, there is no competition, but there is gain, G-A-I-N. And that's what he is wanting to focus on here, is the gain. So we're going to do away with this and move this back in. Look at this, over my own dead body. It's not even just with others. It's not even just with yourself. It's that urgency of feeling like that you have to force or make or do. It kind of crumples the flower and it ruins the beauty of it. The mushrooms erupt and emerge in the blink of an eye. So we're going to take this and file it on back. And we thank you, Truth, for bringing this in for us. It's making me think of whirling dervish energy. It's almost like imagine if the nebula, which is the space where they say stars are born, that if it explodes, like they finally collide, that permission is given. Where is it? The permission is given. The spark, the ignition for your ship to fire up. They have a relationship inside of you that they're ready to bring forward that you had agreed to before you even got here. See, we don't pass away. We don't end, okay? We transform and change shape. So can our mind as well. But there was a plan that you had devised when you were still on the other side. You crafted and created yourself, the way you look, some of the timelines, things that you were going to go through, who you were going to come through. Okay, your parents are where you came through, even if you weren't raised by your parents. That is the, we'll call it the point of origin, but really it's the splash, it's the landing spot, it's the landing pad, and they're wanting to bring you through into all truth. And this is going to radically change your life, is what they're talking about here and what Truth is talking about here. Look at it going from this. So this is you being born in and of yourself and awakening into your new power. Not alone, not that in and of yourself, because that yourself is that organic molecule. It is the one, it is the all. That is what they're talking about here in the star. And that begins to put the worlds in motion. and it begins to bring in and awaken the giftings that were present with you all along that you didn't even see with that mind because you didn't have that eye to see. And I love it because Wheel of Fortune is over here when those cards came spitting out from Mary L. Look at that. It's your cosmic right. It is your birthright. It came inside of you. And not only that, what you bring forth, you have the ability to feed and to take care of, okay? The supplement of the earth is coming along with you and the balance therein. There is no opposition. There is union here. The ships have come in with you. All of the provision, all that carries it is here along with you. That is not about stress or strain. This is about your dreams. This is the divine dream, and I love it because it's reiterating. Remember that pink flower that came up from your story that sprouted up out of nowhere? It's been you all along, my dear. I love that. I love that. I love that. So, well, then I'm going to move the star right there. So let's step on in with this because we have a card sitting right beside the Wheel of Fortune. It's the Six of Discs. And in this deck, it's about all the emanations of you, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Okay, see, this is like the hair here. See the spirit coming on up. This is my genie card because genie is the plural of genius. You have so much genius in all realms that is the wisdom. It is the experience that you've had, but coming together like the facets of the citrine, just like the mountain, the golden self coming in, fascinating. That no longer are you bound and captive to the sorrow and the woes and that abject poverty of what you came through. I hear you clapping, but I also want to bring out that supporting card. And then we have a little bit of something that I'm going to peek at here. No longer that is not you. Your birthright is your dreams. And you've been seeking the space that was prepared for you in order to bring them forward. Because you can have the right seed in the wrong soil. And that's what yourself has been waiting on, clearing out those reasons, clearing out the pig pen, because then your dreams would be born into that, and that's constraining. It's contaminating. It's sick, Wild Woman is saying. And it wants to bring it into healthy soil, into well-being soil, your wealth and your health, okay? So with that, I love it. We've got Six of Wands. Put a little flex. Put your little muscle into it. And I like that Six of Wands and Six of Discs are coming in together. That breath of fire that you have. That permission, your authority, the power coming on in, it is here, and it is showing it to you in all forms that you are not without, you are with. You are with. You are with. And that could be your confirmation to yourself, aside from the universe is filled with opportunities for me, is I am with, not without. And so you just move that aside, move it behind you. You don't even have to step over your own body anymore. You don't have to burn the bridges and rise again. You know, the perpetual phoenix. There's Quetzalcoatl who came right before I went through my final phoenix of Cancer that came along and said, no more death and resurrection. Death and resurrection. We're moving forward into life. We're leaving this death behind. All this entrapment, all these threats, all these imposters coming in to act as if they have power and authority over us. You are divine. You are divine, and they want you to know your mind, okay? So the Hanged Man and the Knight of Spheres. So Knight of Spheres is the one that was coming along with the Six of Wands to give the assistance. See, this looks very similar to this Death card because that's the thing, leaving death behind, rising on up, coming out one more time because you're moving into a whole new world. If you choose to let life help you. Let life love you. Let life show you how loved you are. Let these things, when you see these synchronicities and signs pop up, don't go, I hope it will, or I this or that, or maybe it will, or I really wish it will, and oh, it feels good for a moment, and then let the feeling fizzle, fade, and falter. When those reasons try and start coming at you, they're not even necessarily from inside you. They're coming at you from around you going, well, this is why it won't happen, this and this and this and this, and trying to provide all that proof to you. Raise the roof on that, okay? Lift that hand to ask and to receive and to remind yourself and to believe that, yes, life is for you and not against you. Because see how similar these look? That's the old entrapment. And this is something threatening to drop you in again, that it's going to repeat and you're going to go through the cycle all over again. That is not where you come from. That is where you came through, and you're coming through to emerge into life. Do you see that? So these thickets and thorns are moving away, those roots, and in is coming the connection. See, what used to hold you out now will hold you in, and allow the dreams to come all the way full to the fulfillment, into the promised land. What? Where you can taste and see. And this is what we're kind of moving past, is that dangling carrot of the hanged man. Remember Odin, he's up here. I can pull him out for y'all. But he was chatting and saying, you know, I was bound once so that you don't have to. That's the unique thing, is wisdom loves to share because it cares. Wisdom is something that maybe I paid for, a gift that I went through that I wouldn't wish that experience on anybody. I gladly share the fruits and the rewards of it with you all, because that's what love does. Love and life go together, okay? That's what produces the joy that we all seek. So no more, can you see it, the dangling carrot? That's a trick in the first place. The things that dangle on the end of a line like a worm on a hook, don't bite, don't bite, don't bite. Okay, friend, I love you. I'm glad you stopped by. I hope this has helped you in many ways, and that you take the leap. Take the leap to let life love you. And the thing about this invitation is that love is going to be different than anything you have ever experienced. It is going to be revolutionary and transformative. No longer resurrection, revolutionary. And look at, when you look at revolution, it has love in there. And that's what they're talking about, going to turn it around where you can taste and see that life is good. Hey, I love you. Thank you for stopping by. Leave your comments and compliments down below. And if you're still here, you like something. So click that like button. It's free as always. And it helps us rise to the top. And also, if you haven't already, jump on and join this team. Join the Joy Train. Hop on here and subscribe. That way they'll let you know anytime I post new videos. Keep an eye out. I'll be back around. Know I love you.